Hello. So today we're doing another comprehension with similes and metaphors in it. This comprehension is something that I hope all of us, well, I don't hope we experience everything in the poem, but I hope soon that we'll be going on holiday and having ice creams like they do in the poem. The poem's called One Moment in Summer, and it's by David Harmer. The house is dropping swallows one by one from under the gutter. They swoop and fall on our heads as we queue for ice cream. It is so hot that the long line of cars clogging the road hums like a line of electric fires. They shine and shimmer, stink of oil and warm seats. The children gaze out from their misted windows. Trapped under glass, hair plastered down with sweat, gasping for air like frogs under ice. The cars crawl round the curve of the road, stuck in between the shop and the cafe. My ice cream is butterscotch and almond. Lizzie's is chocolate. Harriet's vanilla. They are so delicious and cold, we lick them slowly, letting the long, cool flavours slide down our tongues. Inside the cars, the red-faced people begin to boil. The swallows flit and dart, rapid specks of blue, black and white. The summer flies at us like an arrow. Okay. So hopefully you've got the poem in front of you, and we'll read that through one more time, and then we'll have a look at the questions. Okay, so I'll read the poem once more. One Moment in Summer. The house is dropping swallows one by one from under the gutter. They swoop and fall on our heads as we queue for ice cream. It's so hot that the long line of cars clogging the road hums like a line of electric fires. They shine and shimmer, stink of oil and warm seats, and the children gaze out from their misted windows. Trapped under glass, hair plastered down with sweat, gasping for air like frogs under ice. The cars crawl round the curve of the road, stuck in between the shop and the cafe. My ice cream is butterscotch and almond. Lizzie's is chocolate. Harriet's vanilla. They are so delicious and cold, we lick them slowly, letting the long, cool flavours slide down our tongues. Inside the cars, the red-faced people begin to boil. The swallows flit and dart, rapid specks of blue, black and white. The summer flies at us like an arrow. Okay, so we've got our first 5 questions are about understanding the text. You need to read the questions carefully, and you probably need to then read the poem again, and then do your highlighting. So in the poem, what are the poet and her friends doing? What are the cars doing? And what are the people in the cars doing? So you need to look back at the poem and highlight the bits that will help you to answer those questions. How do the cars smell? So you need to find that part. What 3 flavours of ice cream do the poet and her friends buy? Okay, that's quite easy to find. You need to find that verse. How do they eat the ice cream? Okay, so the key word there is how. How do they eat the ice cream? And number 5, what colours are the swallows? You need to go right to the end of the poem to find that bit. Then we've got looking at language. Explain in your own words, the house is dropping swallows. So there's a metaphor there, isn't there? You've got to decide what it actually means and explain that in your own words. Number 7, find 2 examples of alliteration in the poem. Remember, alliteration is where you have a sentence or a phrase where most of the words start with the same sound. Okay, so you need to find 2 examples of alliteration. And number 8, you need to explain these words, the words in the box, and if a dictionary will help you. And we've talked about this. If you don't have a dictionary at home, you can Google the words, or you can ask Siri, and hopefully he will help you. Make sure though, as it says, the meaning of the words as they are used in the poem. So they might have more than one meaning, so it needs to be the meaning from the poem. Then for the next few questions, it's exploring words that create images. Okay, so we're looking at similes and metaphors again. Number 9, what similes does the poet use to describe the long line of cars and the people in the cars? So you need to look back, highlight the bit, label it with a number so you know which question it works with. Number 10, make a list of all the cold words in the poem. And number 11, make a list of all the hot words the poet uses. Number 12, why do you think the poet uses so many hot words? So that's what you think. Okay, the answer isn't in the poem, it's what you think. And number 13, look at the title of the poem. Do you think it's a good title or not? And give your reasons. So you can't just say, yes, I think it's a good a good title. You say, I think it's a good title because, and you do the same. No, you don't. Sorry. So look at the title and say whether you think it's a good reason and why. Why it's a good title. Okay. If you have time, and I know some of you will get to this, but don't worry if you don't, because some of you, that's enough for you today. But some of you will need to do some more, and you know who you are. You know those of you that finish more quickly. You can have a look at taking it further. It says, write a short description called One Moment in Winter. It's very cold. You and your friends are queuing for hot drinks. The traffic is moving very slowly because there's lots of snow. Use as many cold words as you can in your description. So you're kind of doing the opposite of what this poem's done, if you have time. Okay, if you've got any questions or you're not sure of any meaning in the poem, come along to the Zoom session at 9:45. And if not, just be brilliant as usual. Okay, I'll see you soon.